Hey guys, it's Nicholas here from upgradeToLife.com and welcome to this video which is called Choose Your Day After event. Imagine an implication of the wish fulfilled instead of the wish itself. So with this video we're basically covering two very important topics. First of all, how to find an scene or something that you can imagine that implies your wish is already fulfilled. And also why it is important to imagine something that implies that it is fulfilled and to not imagine the wish itself, to not imagine the money on your bank account itself, to not imagine the relationship itself. Because I will show you what this does for most people, what this did for me, and why also Neville said choose something that implies you have it. And I want to explain this importance in this video. And again, I will also explain to you how you can find very easily, very quickly, without any effort, a scene, a little act, a little sensation that implies you are it, you have it right now. So that you can then start to imagine that, to inwardly experience that, to make it feel very natural. So with that, let's just dive right in. And first of all, here is my explanation on that. Because basically, there are two ways that you can approach this, right? If you go for the approach to imagine a scene, to experience something internally that implies you have it. This can be, experience a congratulation. This can be experience two people speak about your success. This can be you seeing a certain scene. This can be you hearing a congratulation from your family or friends. It doesn't matter, but it is for this type of approach. If you use revision, or if you like revision, or saying, I remember when this was the case for me and now I'm this, that is not really right now relevant for you. But if you go with imagining a scene, then this video will be really powerful. Because you can go for two ways. You can, number one, imagine and start to imagining the desire itself, right? That is what most people do. They imagine the money in their bank account. They imagine the relationship, the person and the relationship and all of that. They imagine the moment when the desire happens. They imagine, they imagine purchasing the car, the moment they purchase their new car, the moment they purchase their new apartment, whatever it is. And I'm not saying that it does not work, but the question is this the most, effective way to do it? Is it the easiest way? Because what I noticed is that when you imagine the desire itself, just think about your desire, what you desire, and imagine that this feels oftentimes really euphoric and oftentimes a lot of emotions comes up. It feels really emotional, but it can still have this subtle feeling of, it would be really great if I would have this. It would be really great if this would be present in my life. So I imagine that, yeah, it's there, it's happening, and it would be really great if I would have it. But oftentimes it is actually not helping you to identify with that state. You still create the state and you imagine the state, but you don't really shift into it and make it natural and identify automatically and, naturally with it. And then you're keeping the desired state at a seeming distance. You're not actually fused and one with it. That is what usually, and what for a lot of people that I spoke with, happens when they imagine the desire itself. That is why I don't recommend this. This is also why Neville didn't recommend this, and he always said, choose an implication of the desire. And I will tell you in 1 second why. Because you can, if you want to do it like the more beneficial way, you can use the second way, which is you imagine something that implies fulfillment. To identify with the wish already being fulfilled. Not to imagine the wish itself and, oh yeah, this is so amazing. No, something that implies that it already happened, basically. It is already natural for you. Because by doing so, you are literally identifying with the life of the version of yourself that lives in the wish fulfilled. You're not hoping for the wish and imagining the wish. No, you're identifying with this version of you that already lives in the wish fulfilled. And that makes the difference. And in just a minute, I will show you a great illustration that helped me to fully, get an overview on, wow, this is actually really powerful. And I'm only doing that. Like if I feel a new desire arise within me, I don't imagine that desire. No, I ask myself, what would imply I have it? How would my friends see me differently? How would my family see me differently? How would a partner see me differently? How would this person see me differently? What would be different in my day-to-day life? What would imply that? And that brings me, if you then say, okay, I get this. This makes sense. I don't want to, imagine the wish. because that's still like looking at the wish, but I imagine the wish fulfilled, something that implies I have it. Then the question is, how can I find something that implies that I have it? And this is now when we come to choose your day after. Why choose your day after event? Because if today your goal would have manifested, if you would assume that you are right now, as you listen to this video, after this video, you are right now this version of yourself that you want to be. You have manifested what you want to have. Just assume that for a second, even if it seems like, but it's not manifested yet. Okay, but assume it for a second and then ask yourself, what would be different tomorrow? If you are literally right now the person you want to be, you assume that you are right now in that relationship, you right now have the financial abundance, you right now live this new lifestyle, you right now have this new circle of friends, you right now are healed, you right now have gotten this job, whatever it is, you have this right now, you assume that. And so just based on that you have it, then what would change tomorrow? How would your day be different tomorrow now that you are the person that you want to be? You are it right now. Literally, actually, you are it right now. But also, if you can't believe this yet, assume that you are it right now, just for the sake of this exercise, and ask yourself, what would change tomorrow? What would change next week? Right? How would my friends see me then tomorrow if right now I'm the person I want to see? And then you can imagine hearing congratulations from them. Then you can imagine that two of your friends talk about you now that you are this desired version of yourself. Same with your family. Or you can, experience a day-to-day activity that you do, but now you experience this out of the state of the wish fulfilled. How would you drink your morning coffee? How would you drink your morning tea? I always tell this my clients is that, I try to every morning drink a green tea because I love green tea. The favorite green tea that I drink is called Milky Oolong. If you haven't tasted this yet, I highly recommend you go on Amazon, you purchase 50 gram or 100 gram Milky Oolong green tea. Not because it will, do anything special and you will wake up as a Buddha, but it tastes really good and you will love it. So I drink this every morning. And because I know, that I will do this action every morning, like taking the cup and just drinking the tea, I can ask myself, how would I drink this tea now looking forward to my day, now being out of this depression, now being in this relationship, now being more financially stable, right? So definitely choose something that makes sense to you. But then you can imagine, how would you drink it? How would you enjoy it if you would be the person that you want to be? As simple as that, right? That is what I mean by choose your day after event. So you assume that you have achieved the goal. You assume that you have manifested it now. And then you ask yourself, what would change tomorrow in my day-to-day life? How would people see me differently than tomorrow? And then automatically you will have a lot of scenes rushing in your awareness. You will have a lot of ideas and, imaginal activities that you can then choose from what to imagine to imply that you are now the person that you want to be, right? And I want to now show you how this looks like in a really simple illustration that I prepared. So on the left side, we see your current internal state and therefore your current circumstances, because your circumstances are a reflection of your internal state, right? The mirror of life is a really great reflection of what you keep alive within you, your assumptions, your beliefs, your identity, your self-concept, who you believe you are. And then on the quote-unquote other side, we have the desired internal state, right? And the desired circumstances. But in order to experience these desired circumstances, we have to shift into this desired internal state. And if you want to learn how to do that whole process, right, how to shift into a desired state to manifest your desired circumstances, then I highly recommend you check out the free masterclass. It's the first link in the video description, where I explain this whole process step by step, what matters, why people, sometimes fail on doing this or delay their manifestations. And now this is what most people do, right? They just imagine the desire and, oh yeah, this, and oh yeah, the money on my bank account, and oh yeah, the car, and oh yeah, this. And again, like I said before, like I explained, it feels euphoric, it feels nice, you feel happy, but are you really identified with it? Do you really know it is done? Are you really in this state of relief? And I'm sure you maybe heard some sirens, but that's the question, right? Is imagining the desire itself the solution? And the answer is no, because what we should do, and now here comes the illustration, is we go beyond that. We assume this already happened. We are right now. Okay, we are. So what would change in our life, right? And then we basically, from our current internal state, from who we are right now, we close your eyes and you ask yourself, what would imply that I have this? Who would shake my hand? Who would congratulate me? Who would be happy for me? Who would give a comment on my achieved goal? And what would I do differently in my day-to-day life? So you'll have a lot of scenes come up, and then you experience one of these scenes that imply the end for you the best. And with that, you have your day after. First of all, you have a really simple way to find scenes that imply the wish is fulfilled, and to then imagine the wish fulfilled and not the wish itself. So that's why in this video we covered these two very important topics: how you can find a scene and why the implication is important. Because again, I want to say it again, with the implication, you are identifying with the life of the version of you that lives in the wish fulfilled. Think about that, right? You stop seeing it separate. You actually already, that's normal for me. I live that. Through you repetitively imagine it, putting your awareness on already having achieved it, on this little sensation that implies you are it. And you actually are it because creation is finished, so that does exist. And therefore you're literally identifying with this version of you that does exist because creation is finished and the state of consciousness that you're seeking is available. And so you start with already having it and being it. And that is the core essence of this video. So keep this illustration off your mind and choose your day after. Now you know how to do it. You assume that you have it right now. You assume that you are right now. No questions about how, when, who, what. And then you ask yourself, now that I have it, okay, what would be different tomorrow? Very, very easy. I apply this very often. I use this same principle very often to manifest multiple great things, multiple small, medium, big. I'm not a fan of, labeling these things. A desire is a desire, equally valid. And to manifest them just by following these two things. Okay? So let me know in the comments down below, first of all, if that makes sense to you, if you now feel that this helped you in order to, for you to find implications that imply that you are already the person that you want to be. And if you've understood right now why it is so important to imagine the wish fulfilled and not the wish itself, to not keep it at a distance, to not still think of it, but to really identify with you being it. And yeah, if you have questions, also leave them in the comments. And if you want to, apply Neville's teachings in your life consciously, you want some guidance, you want some accountability, you want support, you want a program with a red line leading through everything, building a strong foundation, and then step by step, working through these teachings and mastering them to master your life, to do this for you, not for anyone else, but for you. Then you can also apply for a free 45-minute consultation call with Upgrade Your Life if you like to find out if you are a good fit. That's the second link in the video description. And with that, I speak to you in the next one. Bye, guys.